Greetings and salutations, my friends. Today is Saturday, October 18th, and we are back with another episode of Push-Ups, Sit-Ups, and Plenty of Juice. Now, for those of you that are new, been here, today is day 6 of this program, episode 6. Yeah, episode 6 of this program. And if you're new, haven't watched the past 5 episodes, well then let me introduce myself. I am your pastor of positivity, George Allen West. And we come here every day, literally every single day. Most days it's down here at the Iron Asylum, but some days I might be traveling, and then in which case, it'll be from on location, But we come here every day to give you guys a little bit of insight into what I'm doing for my fitness routine, how that is going. But there are other things you'll see on this channel as well. You can follow the various other aspects of this channel as I cover the Holy Trinity of Fitness, which to me is a fit mind, fit body, and fit spirit. So I cover all of that on the channel as a whole. But this series here, push-ups, sit-ups, and plenty of juice, it's all about a fit body. Now to me, a fit body, that means it is strong, it is mobile, and it has good cardio, both cardiovascular and cardiorespiratory. So to me, that is the Holy Trinity of a fit body. And that's what I work on when I'm down here. And so this series, we call it Push-Ups, Sit-Ups, and Plenty of Juice, because it's all about health and fitness and my juices. Right now, we've got some Gatorade back there, and I'll get more into that in another video at another time. Today, we're running really tight on schedule. Thankfully for me, today is Saturday, so it's a bit of a freestyle day, so I can kind of make the day whatever I want it to be. And for today, what that's going to mean, I'm going to do 10 minutes of backwards walking just to help get some blood flowing. And then, actually, as I'm talking about it, I might change that up a bit. We'll see. Follow along, you'll find out. But I'm thinking I might do some backwards walking, then a little bit of forwards running. Again, just about getting the blood flow, because everything's feeling tight right now. Feeling cold. I just turned the heater on. That's my fault. Usually first thing when I wake up, I turn the heater on, so when I get down here, it's nice and warm. But I just turned it on, so everything is trying to wake up, catch up. I had a later night than I wanted to last night, which led to a later morning than I would like this morning. So it's 9:30 a.m. I want to get all of this wrapped up and done by 10. So let me get started. I got to put on my shoes, and I will see you guys on the treadmill.
Modern fitness is all about burning calories and muscle hypertrophy. Somewhere along the way, we lost the art of building a full-functioning, resilient body. You may have made your way over from Ancient Animal Conditioning or Duck Walks video. If so, do us a favor, subscribe to this channel as it is actually different. And if you haven't seen this video, it will give you some context to why these movements are so powerful. Let us begin with a quick warm-up. First, we'll do finger push-ups. From hands and knees, press through your fingers and lift your palm. Feel how your knuckles are a hinge and you can create strength through them. As you feel stronger here, put more and more weight into your hands to increase the intensity. Animal movements strengthen the heck out of your wrists, but you gotta do a little prehab to make sure you're strong enough to start. Next up, let's move into bear squat. From hands and knees, we rock the hips back towards the heels. Just like the knuckle joint, feel your big toes extend as you rock the hips back, and then feel if you can press through the toes to actually push your knees forward. I absolutely love this movement. It's so simple, yet I think it can fix so much in your lower body. Now, if you feel strong enough, you can move into the single leg variation. But keep in mind, this took me a while to work up towards. But one of our goals with this routine is to get the full duck walk, and this movement really helps prep your knees and your feet to get there. Alright, and we'll end the warm-up with a few seconds in our downward dog. What's cool about animal movements is there's no perfect form. All I want you to do is look at the screen and emulate what I'm doing. I recommend having a space where you can take about 10 steps forward and back for each movement. This first round we're going to move through slow, and then the second round will go a lot quicker. Let's start with the basic cat crawl. Make sure that you're moving your opposite limbs together. Feel stable and strong, yet at the same time let your shoulders and spine be loose. After you've hit about 10 steps, reverse the motion, crawling backwards. This can be a little bit tricky in the beginning, but over time, you'll figure it out. Now, as you'll see here, with this first round, between each animal movement, I want you to just walk down and back, shake out your muscles, use this as your quick rest, and then let's get ready to go for the next one. Our next movement is frog, and this will allow you to work on your low squat mobility. Reach your hands in front of you, take the weight into the shoulders, and then place the feet back next to your hands. We're looking for a strong push from your hands and shoulders. This one will really strengthen your wrists. We also want to feel more and more comfortable in that deep squat position. This is definitely moving mobility. Now we'll reverse the frog. And this can be challenging. I start by showing you the hard way, which is reaching the hands behind your feet. But the easiest way is just to put your hands right next to your toes. Take weight into the shoulders and lift your hips backwards. Alright, great work. Let's take our shakeout walk. One of the reasons why I replaced warm-ups with these animal conditioning walks is because of how you're feeling right now. Your whole body has to activate to do these movements. It's really become a no-brainer for me because of the strength and mobility components. Now we move to bear walk, which is great for hamstring flexibility. This is the same pattern as the cat crawl, but we keep our hips lifted high. You'll notice that I naturally shift my chest backwards with each step. This is to prioritize the stretch, squeezing my chest and my thighs together. And let's go ahead and reverse the motion back. I think pushing the ground away backwards like this is so good for your serratus anterior muscle, which is key for shoulder health. And I think bear walks will fix anybody's stiff posterior chain. Your calves will loosen, your feet, your hamstrings, your glutes. Trust me, you gotta spend some time with this one. So we'll move on to our next movement, which is the monkey. And I want to show right here, even if you don't have a deep squat, you can still do these movements. You can start with the hips higher. But monkey and frog are fantastic ways to work on your deep squat mobility through movement. This one is just like the frog, only we're traveling sideways. And I think that this twist and reach is so good for stretching your torso. You can also create some pretty insane wrist and shoulder pushing strength. Sometimes, when I'm really pushing myself with these movements, I'll do a handstand with each hop. This version is definitely not for beginners, but drop a comment below if you want to see me do a more advanced routine. Walk it out, shake it out. We're 4 minutes in. You should be feeling very warmed up and invigorated by now. Now we're going to move on to what I think is a sleeper movement, and that's the crab walk. Reaching the arms behind you is something that we just don't do much, and this will keep your chest nice and open. I actually took these out of my routine because I thought they were too easy for a while, but then I was training some people, and they had very stiff wrists and shoulders and couldn't do this at all. I realized that maybe the reason why I'm maintaining so much mobility in my body is because I'm doing stuff like this. So I added them right back into my routine. Great work, walk it out. This next movement I've been doing a lot more recently. Since I was researching and making this video. The horse stance is just an insanely powerful position, and I've really been enjoying walking from it. So knees out, chest up, sink the hips down. We'll slowly walk forward, trying to maintain our hip level. If you are able to keep your hips nice and low, you'll really feel your hip and inner thigh working with each step. It's also like the half duck walk as well. Your legs just have to work and use so much more strength when we bend them just a little bit. And honestly, my backwards walk still needs some work, but we're getting there. Alright, awesome work, y'all. So our last movement is the duck walk, and this is generally the most challenging one because we have to fully flex the knee. But I think that learning a form of the duck walk at any age is possible and will have profound effects on your lower body. So we're going to start with the beginner version, which is the duck lunge. Essentially, we're doing a walking lunge, but keeping the feet close together. This forces our knees to bend fully. And I actually really like these for anyone, because you get to work out of pushing out of that bottom full bent position and raising the hips. You don't do this in a full duck walk because your hips stay down low. Now, if this is feeling too much for your knees, right here, I'm going to show you the half duck walk. We do a little half squat and we travel forward. Pretty much anyone can do this variation. But our goal by the end of this, if your knees and feet are prepared for it, is to be doing full duck walks. So we're going to get there in the coming rounds. All right, awesome work, y'all. So that was round 1, and that just takes 6 minutes. You could quite literally be getting so many of the animal movement benefits if you just popped this on for 6 minutes, did this with me before every time that you exercise. Now, I've also mentioned that I use this for heart conditioning, and it's exactly what we're going to do in this round. No breaks. We're going to move through all of those movements a lot quicker. The idea is that we're kind of doing a hybrid between strength endurance, cardio, mobility work. This will build a fully functioning body. So let's cat crawl it down and back. All right, excellent work. Now we're going to move into our frog hops. Don't be scared to really reach your hands on this one. Get a little bit longer. All right, nice work. I almost wanted to walk right there, and then I realized, nope, we're conditioning. So let's move on to bear walk. All right, awesome work, y'all. Our next movement is monkey. And on this round, feel free to reach the hands forward and really travel with that monkey. All right, how you doing? You getting tired yet? Let's move straight into crab walk. All right, good work. Now we'll move straight into horse walks. This is kind of a challenging one to go quicker on, but we can try to speed up the pace a little bit. All right, nice work, y'all. So this last one, we're gonna go duck walk. Now, if you're feeling good enough for it, you can challenge yourself to stay nice and low and start to push that front knee a little bit more forward. I really love this one. It makes me feel like a gorilla so much. Now there is a version of the duck walk where you travel backwards. If that's something that you want to work on your own time, I would suggest it, though it is very challenging. All right, awesome work, y'all. So that is 9 full minutes of animal conditioning. So good for your body.
Finish this!
I hope that you're feeling as good as I am right now. Now, if you made it over here from how duck walks change your lower body, we're going to do my favorite duck walk variation for this last minute. We're going to start with our basic cat crawl. We're then going to hop the feet forward, almost like the monkey. Weight to the feet, chest comes up, duck walk. And because we'll only take around 2 steps in the duck walk, try to make them nice and long. See, the duck walk becomes so powerful once we start pushing that front knee forward and getting a big stretch through that back hip. So let's do this one more time. Try to get it nice and smooth. Cat, monkey, duck. All right, guys, this is so much fun. Thank you for joining me. I'd love to work, y'all. So that is 9 full minutes of animal conditioning. So good for your body. I hope that you're feeling as good as I am right now. Now, if you made it over here from how duck walks change your lower body, we're going to do my favorite duck walk variation for this last minute. We're going to start with our basic cat crawl. We're then going to hop the feet forward, almost like the monkey. Weight to the feet, chest comes up, duck walk. And because we'll only take around 2 steps in the duck walk, try to make them nice and long. See, the duck walk becomes so powerful once we start pushing that front knee forward and getting a big stretch through that back hip. So let's do this one more time. Try to get it nice and smooth. Cat, monkey, duck. All right, guys, this is so much fun. Thank you for joining me. I'd love to hear how your experience was with this routine. Drop me a comment below and let me know. If you're feeling super warmed up and you want to work on your hip mobility, I suggest doing this horse stance routine right here. See you in the next one, as always.
Wow, I'm almost embarrassed to admit how much that torched me, particularly my cardio respiratory system. By the time we got to the end there and he was like conditioning, man, yeah, it's interesting watching my own progress over these past few months, and especially not really being able to push too hard, and specifically trying not to push too hard. Now that I'm in a phase where I can, and I'm pushing a little harder, I'm like, oh yeah, the cardiorespiratory system in particular, very behind where I would like for it to be. And truth be told, it's probably behind where it should be. Granted, I know I am recovering still. I just saw my doctor last week and got the green light to start doing these activities. And they explained to me, a lot of my numbers, even though everything has been coming up, some things are still behind. And that's okay. They're where they should be for where we are in the process of things, and a lot of things are even further ahead than they should be for where we are in the process of things. So that's all great, but it is a reminder to myself, like, okay, I've really got to step my game up here, because that smoked me. That really did. And that's all good, though. Shout out to Strength Side. Strength Side follow-alongs might be its own channel, in which case I need to look into that, in which case I will subscribe to that channel. I've been subscribed to Strength Side and I really enjoy that channel, but I think I'm just now realizing the videos that I do from them are their follow-along videos, and it looks like they have their own channel for that. So that one that I just did, if you want to try it yourself, as always, shout out to the proper people that do this thing, so shout out to Strength Side follow-alongs. And this video here, it was called Beginner Animal Movement Conditioning, 10 minutes. That was awesome, actually. I really thoroughly enjoyed that. One of the things that I'm trying to figure out in my own routine is, I have the HTB routine, and we know we're doing that Monday through Friday, and I have everything that goes into that for specifics. So my Saturdays and Sundays are more of a freestyle, as long as I am tackling the holy trinity of the body: strength, mobility, cardio, vascular, and respiratory. And that definitely hit the nail on all three heads. So thank you, Strength Side. We definitely appreciate that. So yeah, my point though was, so Saturdays and Sundays being more of a free flow, and Sundays generally just being yoga, because Sundays I like to chill. So Sundays generally just yoga. Saturdays I think I am going to spend more time on the animal movements, and especially the conditioning, the cardio aspect of it, particularly cardiorespiratory, because cardiovascular, I'm hitting that all week. HTB, we're nailing that. I thought I was hitting cardiorespiratory during HTB, and don't get me wrong, I definitely, yesterday was 9 rounds. At the end of the 9 rounds, I was breathing a little bit, but I was not breathing nearly as heavy as I was for this. So that just tells me, all right, there are levels, and I'm newly discovering them, and that's awesome. I used to be in relatively pretty great shape, all things considered, and so now fighting back from cancer, recovering from it, really recovering from the chemo. That's what I think of as the worst of everything, recovering from the blood clots, and so now it's a matter of getting back into shape and figuring out what I can and can't do in that regards. So I definitely want to do more cardiovascular conditioning, for sure. Nope, I do plenty of cardiovascular conditioning, cardiorespiratory conditioning. I believe I said it wrong earlier as well, but yeah, I definitely want to do more cardiorespiratory conditioning, get these lungs strong, healthy, yeah. I don't even know what I'm saying, but normally I would stretch. Today, I just don't feel like it. Not even that I don't feel like it, I am not making the time. I want to get changed, get out of here, go make some money doing some Insta Spark, and then get back here, make some juice, because, We did our sit-ups and push-ups. Now you gotta have plenty of juice. You might have noticed no glow juice this morning, just Gatorade. Reason for that, I knew I was on a truncated schedule. So I was like, you know what? I don't intend to be down here that long. I'll just have the Gatorade. Probably could have done the glow juice as well. I probably would have drank more of the Gatorade because as I was working out and everything, I was very mindful of, oh, there's only a little bit left. And that's the last of it. So, what did we learn today? We learned that definitely need a lot more work on the cardiorespiratory system. We learned that those animal movements feel really good for the body. We learned that we need to give ourselves more time in the morning, which means waking up earlier, which means going to bed earlier, rinse, wash, repeat. So we'll definitely be working on that. That's everything I've got to say today. Let me blast on out of here. This has been another episode of Push-Ups, Sit-Ups, and Plenty of Juice. And I am your pastor of positivity, George Allen West, reminding you to cherish your life.